Hello, Aries. Welcome to your weekly reading for September 15th to the 22nd. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and we're going to jump right in. You have a guest, Ruby. She wanted to sit about lap. Her birthday's in a few days, so I'm going to let her, joking, because she sits in my lap all the time. Anyway, you were coming after the lunar eclipse in Pisces, okay? So that was really big. You were doing a lot of, it looks like shadow work, because that's your 12th house, okay? And, because of some of the other aspects, you were possibly going really deep. You were probably like a lot of things coming up from the subconscious, but you also went through the luckiest weekend of the month. That was over the weekend. Remember last week, I skipped last week, and that was the Sun and Mercury sextile Jupiter. Okay. And so you probably got some news about work, colleagues, employees, maybe your health, maybe your daily activities. There was some news or communication that changed. You're starting to see some change happen. And those aspects, to be honest, are spilling over the first few days of this week. And now this week, you see, we have, to be honest, we're going to talk about this. There's a lot happening, but we're going to walk through this, okay? It is a build up of a lot of energy to the new moon solar eclipse that's happening in Virgo. We're going to talk about that next week, actually. I just wanted to give you visual reference. It is big, okay? But we want to talk about the build up to it, all right? So you can see there's going to be a huge concentration of activity. It's like a blob of astrology that starts on Thursday, okay? And really this week is all about reality checks. You will remember this week like your first hickey. Speaking of which, Monday, September 15th, we got Venus in Leo, sextile Mars in Libra. Do you want to get down now? Or you want to go? All right, so I'm going to let her down and see if she still wants to. Okay, so she's good. All right, you have Venus sextile Mars. Air and fire does really, really, really well together, okay? So do these two cosmic lovebirds, Venus and Mars. It's a sextile. It's a window of opportunity happening for you right now. And this is really sweet. Mars, your ruler, just happens to be in Venus's home. Yeah. So this is, she's a house guest. It's fun. It's social, flirty. There's presence here. Yeah. There's a lot of partnership stuff for you here. Partnerships, relationships, romance, love, but also collaborations, creative projects. There's just a lot of chemistry and there's a lot of compromise as well. The other thing is, by the way, I know that I've been having mic issues, Uranus on my ascendant, so there may be some latency. If that happens, it happens. There's nothing else I can do. I've done like 4,000 different things. Uranus on the ascendant is like having Mercury retrograde every day. I have this for a whole year. Now, Venus, by the way, sextile Mars. Okay, so Venus is love and money and beauty and luxury. Venus is in your 5th house of love and creativity, right? Of true love, soulmates, all of that, creative projects, family, children. So this is just really special when it does come to love for y'all, all right? Mars, as you know, is your ruler, action, drive, ambition, libido, right? And so, again, a lot of partnership stuff here. If you're not here for that, there could be something where you're working with new creative partners in some capacity and still maybe even signing something, okay? Remember, if Venus is what your heart desires, Mars is how you get it, okay? By taking action, yeah? So go get what you deserve and do it fast. All right, because Wednesday you start feeling the crunch. All right, but I will remind you, Tuesday, yeah, we will have the moon in Cancer conjuncting Jupiter. So Jupiter does have a little bit of a cameo this week, and this is really special. And this is all about home and family. You're really going to feel this, absolutely going to feel this. There may be something about moving for y'all as well, but Jupiter really does save the day. Okay, Jupiter is still trine the North Node as well, so there's something really special here you may feel, all right, especially with home and family. Now, Wednesday, September 17th, this is when Mercury is opposite Saturn and Neptune. That's not on the whiteboard, but that's actually the next day. Remember, Saturn and Neptune are still basically conjuncting each other, all right? So here, you can't really get what you want. There's a little bit more effort for it, okay? So you can, but I'm going to tell you what's happening here. Mercury, that is all about communication and thinking and ideas and conversations, is kind of being roadblocked by Saturn, who is the, TSA agent. He's the authority. So Mercury isn't strong in Libra at all. And with Saturn here, it's hard to compromise. And even with, Mars on your side, Mars doesn't do well in Libra. And remember, Saturn retrograded back into Pisces. Look at your monthly forecast if you want to know what that means. But this is kind of a big deal. What were the lessons that you've been learning since March 2023 when it comes to spirituality, intuition, your future, your dreams, right? A lot of things. I think that y'all were really going through moments of those possible moments of forgiveness. Okay. Maybe you were forgiving yourself. Maybe you were forgiving others. There was a lot of activity, especially in the realm of the subconscious. So a lot of things from the past coming up too. We'll talk about that too. But this aspect you got to throw in, Mars in Libra, right? That's your 7th house. They're maybe not seeing eye to eye with lovers, partnerships. You got to throw in legal matters, maybe some arguments, maybe even demand letters going around. Yeah. Saturn really has his aviators on today. And with Mercury opposite Neptune, that's a whole other story. You're going to feel that more on the day after, which is going to be Wednesday, right? That's going to be, Thursday. But you clump them together, right? So again, this is when you have an opposition like this, you're really going to feel it all week. All right. But mostly Wednesday till about Saturday. Now, with Mercury opposite Neptune, that can bring a little bit of confusion, deception, misinformation, WTF moments. So you've got to be very casual. Treat this like a casual Friday. Yeah. Try to avoid major talks. The good news here is that Mercury is exalted in Virgo. All right. And so that's the great news. He's strong here, strategic, analytical. This is all about being wise, making, really wise decisions. Just be mindful with communication in person, online, DMs, all of that. I always say words are energy. Everything's energy. So you can use the higher expression of Neptune, which is, spending time with the arts, music, creativity, hemisync. Yeah. Things that bring that high frequency, because what makes this day a little bit more challenging, Mars in Libra will be opposite Chiron in your sign. Don't forget, Aries, Mars's sister, the divine goddess warrior, is here too. This isn't, the most fun aspect, but we will talk about it in the second spread. You will start feeling this, all right? So there may be a little bit of like, yeah? There's going to be some things that you want to say. Be mindful of that. Now, Thursday, September 18th, now you got Mercury entering Libra. So Mars is excited to have company in Libra. That's great. Yeah. There's focus here on diplomacy, partnerships, marriage, a lot of makeup energy, like making up with others. You probably had some experiences with other people, okay, through eclipse season, and all of that was necessary. It's part of your growth. And I say that because this is the point right here. All right. So if you recall from your monthly forecast, I said all the outer planets are retrograde and they are at a standstill. So they want you to go within. They want you to reassess situations. They want you to move slow to thrive. It's like the SATs. You got to finish. If you want to see your score, you got to finish. Okay. I got a, 1400. I stayed and finished. I'm joking. I don't even know if that even, is that even a thing? Anyway, like the SATs, do kids still take it? Anyway, from this point forward, Thursday up until the eclipse, it really is crunch time. Things might be a little, you're going to feel the squeeze. You're going to feel winds of change. And it's because every single planet, the sun, the moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, all of them are going to be between 28 to 0 degrees. This is one big pile up. It's a dance off. There really is a lot of weight, okay, around this time, because what's happening is that all the outer planets that are retrograde, they're kind of in the way for the inner planets to work for you. Yeah, you're going to see there's a lot of configurations here, and it's all happening right before the eclipse, right before the equinox. And I did say in your monthly forecast, the planets have come out to play hard this month. This week is the schoolyard, okay? They all have rubber baseball bats, right? So I just, again, this is a week. I'm just telling you the best thing to do is expect change. It will happen. And I've talked about the prism portal. As a part of that prism portal, you have to expect some breakdowns to have your breakthrough. And you're going to see that on the world stage too, to be honest, just for clarity. Okay. And I have been talking about that in Great Awakener, the economy, AI, geopolitical events, geophysical events, all of that's on Great Awakener, the things that I can't talk about here. So just expect change. This is like a reset. It's all at that 0 degree point, okay? But with the configurations, this week we have yods, we have kites. It's the whole shebang. There was a lot, and it's just like, it was like 20 things that I just couldn't put on the whiteboard. So the best thing to know is that every planet is passing through that critical degree, the 29 degrees, 0 degrees, and in opposition, okay? There is a kite formation that involves Mercury, Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune, which is at the apex. Neptune is in your sign, Aries. And Neptune is like the beacon sending you signals to use your imagination, to be creative, to tap into your spiritual warrior, to manage anything that happens around this time, which, like I said, could be not seeing eye to eye, could be arguments, could be something with authority figures as well. And like I said, Neptune is technically still, conjunct Saturn, even though they're in different signs, they're still right with each other, all right? And don't forget, Saturn is actually, believe it or not, helping you turn your dreams into reality. Here, he's making you do it the hard way, all right? But never forget, it's you, Aries. You create your reality. This is all part of your spiritual journey, all right? So these aspects allow you to make those changes, especially changes you haven't done yet. That is what all these retrogrades are for. And remember, everything is energy. What you put out there, you receive in return. If you've been at a high frequency of compassion and gratitude and self-love and awareness, and especially this week, it's going to be a piece of cake. You are going to be queen or king of the hill, okay? So now the good news is that we do have a wonderful grand trine, okay? Air trine, their pyramid with Mercury in Libra, trine Uranus and Gemini, and Pluto and Aquarius. And remember, they're trining each other. This is all at 1 degree. So that degree of new beginnings, that's your degree, Aries, all right? You're going to feel this air trine days before, days after. It's kind of like this really nice life raft, okay? With all these air signs, yeah? That's part of this trine. Works in your favor. You can receive good news around this time. You can make big announcements. You could write a very compelling letter, message in a bottle, whatever you want. Pluto is activated. What does that mean? What's beneath the surface? Like, what has to come out? What needs to be revealed, especially within you? Yeah? What is the transformation you seek? Now, the fact that Pluto in Aquarius rules your 11th house, a lot of this has to do with your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, and dreams. What is the transformation you seek? Make it happen. Yeah? Make it happen. This is your time. Mercury, remember, intellect, the mind. Active, part of this air trine. You can be clever here, strategic, like I said, but it's also, they're the 3 air signs. Network, be social, communicate, all of that. You're going to love it. I mean, you have Uranus and Gemini in your 3rd house of communication. Great time for marketing, PR, advertising as well. Writing, creative writing, projects, collaboration. This is great for you. All right. So please use it, because there's something that can be really wonderful here. With the fact you got Mercury in Libra, your opposite signs, so partnerships, relationships, contracts, great stuff. All right. And then remember, Libra is also peace. And with Mercury here, again, another like nod to like making peace, forgive and forget. Yeah. And yeah, Uranus trine Pluto, part of the Prism portal. Just look at any of the videos I did in the past 6 months where I talk about this, or I'll leave the Saturn. I'll leave the video where I did on what you can expect for your sign for the next 2 years, because that's still active. It's still happening behind the scenes, and it's tight this week. Okay, so Uranus trine Pluto is a core aspect driving you into 2026. And that's all about innovation and breakthroughs, especially for you with friendships, with your community, with even social media is one of the biggest highlights for Aries. Take advantage. Take advantage of this. Like, it's hitting your 2 houses of social media. All right. Use it in the way that you need to, but this is going to be great. And when I say use it in the way that you need to, it's Uranus trine Pluto. All right. And so have your breakthrough, but also if you need to have a tower moment, have your tower moment. Whatever you intuitively feel will get you to the point that you need to go. If something's not working, it has to go. All right. Now, the moon, by the way, is going to be in Leo, trining Ceres in your sign. Remember, you got like 5 things happening in your sign right now, Aries. We'll talk about in the second spread. And then we do have Juno, who, you know, is going to be sextiling the sun and trine Saturn. So there is this air of authority that I really love. But again, those we talk about the asteroids, planetoids, lunations, all that stuff in the second spread. Now, Friday, September 19th, Venus is going to move into Virgo. So what does this mean for you, Aries? This is love. This is money, creativity, projects, creative projects, beauty, all of that. What makes your heart sing? Okay. Venus being in Virgo, it means you're going to scrutinize all of those areas in your life, relationships, etc. Virgo is all about the details. A little nitpicky when Venus is in Virgo. You are going to have a lot of moments with health and the health of your relationships and work, your responsibilities and duties when it comes to work. And it's even, you know, little penny pinching energy here. You have Venus and Virgo for the next few weeks. Okay. So remember the mosh pit of planets I was talking about? There's like just all the inner planets and the outer planets. That's kind of, you know, in the schoolyard. That's still happening. So keep that in mind. And we have a yod called Finger of God on this Friday. I'm not going to get into it. It's powerful. I'll talk about it on Great Awakener. All right. But at this point, we have the sun, moon, Venus, and the South Node in Virgo. Okay. Many in a hot mess of challenging aspects, to be honest. But remember, the lower expressions of Virgo would be being self-critical, being hard on yourself. All right. Taking blame for things that's not your fault. Things like that. So just channel all that energy into Virgo's higher expression of self-care and service to others. All right. Because everyone, these aspects, everyone in the world is going to feel this. But in different areas of their life, right? Yours is mostly your everyday activities, your lifestyle, routines, relationships, love, everything, all of that's on the table for you. But even though this can be a little bit of a, you know, roadblock or, you know, just a thick area of forest, if you're hiking, you just got to squeeze through, right? Everyone's on a karmic journey, okay? I just said the South Node is here as well, activated in Virgo. And I always say, as long as you are proactive and everything you do is for the greater good, no matter the response you get in certain circumstances, situations, you know you did your best, all right? Now, the other thing is, Friday the 19th, we're still on it, okay? What I was going to say is, interestingly, the moon is going to be moving into Virgo with Venus hand in hand from Leo to Virgo. Very interesting. At the same time, Mercury's leaving, right? Mercury being Virgo's ruler. So we'll talk about that in the second spread. But you see Saturday, September 20th, right? And so, oh, by the way, and that means they're at 0 degrees. So you're just going to a lot of attention on your everyday activities. Just keep that in mind. And a lot of like maternal side is going to come out. And again, healthcare and health and your health, mental health, emotional health. Just focus on that, okay? Saturday, September 20th. Now you have Venus and Virgo squaring Uranus and Gemini. So here is when you will likely get surprises or wake-up calls when it comes to love, money, relationships, unexpected messages. There could be a tug of war between, should we talk about this? Or, you know, keeping someone at arm's length, all right? So keep that in mind. There's a lot of family stuff happening for you at this point with Uranus and Gemini. That could be siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, even neighbors, your local community. But it still is communication. There may be something here with travel as well, and money. So just be mindful of this. It could even be like a surprise bill from like a doctor visit or pet, you know, the 6 house rules, you know, domestic animals. But fortunately, the air trine is going to help here, all right? Remember, with Mercury, all the air signs, yeah? And Uranus and Gemini wants you to shake things up anyway, wants you to free your mind, expand your consciousness, be willing to learn and take risks and be curious and have your breakthroughs, okay? So here's the other thing. At this point, this is when the Sun in Virgo will be opposite Saturn in Pisces, nearly exact. Okay. So again, that's going to be, we're going to talk about that more with it's happening right at the solar eclipse in Virgo, to be honest. All right. So just prepare for that over the weekend. You're preparing for this new start with a new moon solar eclipse, the Sun opposite Saturn in Pisces, health, that health, your everyday activities, pets, there's going to be some, you know, you're going to feel a bit of a squeeze. Yeah. But it's all part of this tangle of other aspects. Again, all the planets are active. All right. So the big question to ask yourself, Aries, this weekend with the Sun opposite Saturn is, what do you have to surrender before the eclipse takes you on a whole new path? All right, Aries. So let's see what is going on for you this week. For September 15th to the 22nd for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. Y'all are amazing. Okay. Aries. Aries. Wow. What a ride. And I'm going to have to do this fast. And I don't even know why I take off my glasses at this point, because I have to just see is the video thing still running. Anyway. All right. Aries. Stop it. You crack me up. Aries, I do a traditional cultic cross spread, offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know we will. Secondly, you know I love y'all. Aries, what's going on? How are y'all doing? And thank you everyone who has joined greatawakener.com so far. Y'all are amazing. We have a lot of fun. And the sale, by the way, is still going on. The founding member sale. You can get your discount code. You get like 50 to 75% off. It's all in the community post. Or you can just go to the website, Great Awakener, and there's one thing for YouTube subscribers, the Tarot Ship subscribers. You'll see the button when you go to checkout. Anyway, let's see what's going on. Yeah, this is going to be a week. There's going to be a week where you're going to have to do some compromise. You're going to have a little bit of those moments, what I said, when you're not seeing eye to eye first. The devil showed up. I did say you possibly have been doing shadow work. You're going to do more shadow work. And then next week, when Mars moves into Scorpio, yeah, that's your 8th house of shadow work. So this is the time to just, again, what has to go? What has to go? What do you have to surrender? What's not good for you? What's not good for your health? What is taking up all your time, your energy? We've got to acknowledge it. You see the 2 people here from the Lover's card, chained to the devil. Yeah. Chains are loose, they can break free. But in order to break free, you got to know what those chains are. And if you know what they are, you have to accept it is time to break free. Are you in a toxic relationship? Are you in, do you have a toxic colleague where you can't even do your work because of this person? Whatever it is, you can't have any, we've got to cut those cords. You've got to do what's best for you, all right? This is just taking up all your time and energy. All right. And you are going through a lot of career stuff. So this can be career. And it could be even you staying put in a place where you know you can do better. Okay. That goes for relationships too. With Venus very active, you got Mars and Libra in your 7th house of love and marriage and partnerships as well. So there you go. All right. So you got to recognize what it is. This is also like codependency, obsessions, bad behaviors. Yeah. 5 of Swords and the heart of your spread. There you go. So there it is. Not seeing eye to eye. And again, it can be as big as community, as the masses. It's, remember I said you've got social media activated for you, Aries, in a really big way. It could be something that you see on, a social media platform and and it really gets you. Yeah. And that's because all the aspects they're doing that to you this week. They want you to feel something. They want to see how you react and how you pass this test. So you could even see things and you just go bonkers, like angry tweets or whatever they're called, right? So do you need that? Is that where you really want to expend your energy, right? And also in person, it could be friendships. Like I said, you do have your 11th house activated. It could be friendships, groups you belong to, community, a lot of things that are on the table here, but just be mindful of that. Okay. Be very mindful of that. But partnerships may be a big thing, and that can be business partners. So this person here, listen, yeah, he won. He's the king of the hill, but look at these people. Look at the smug look on his face, right? So it's almost like he could lose as much as they did just from his actions. So always be mindful of your actions. This card really is more about self-respect and self-dignity. And can I see eye to eye? Can I drop these swords? You see the clouds here. It's stormy. There may be a little bit of a thing that you might have to go through because you have the 10 of Cups, but in your town's area. So again, home, family, love, relationships, maybe even children, right? Your relationship with your children. What's going on there? Is there something? Remember, are you confronting everything that you need to confront? Are you letting things come out of your subconscious? I always say everything upstairs, it's 90% subconscious. That's why we want to expand our consciousness. So that's just going to, trust me, it's going to be a big relief for you. Yeah? Have those moments. I have Alex too. Alex Janelli, who's been on my channel. Yeah, she's doing hypnotherapy, free hypnotherapies on Great Awakener. The other thing, ask yourself, are you really happy? That's the big question. Are you really happy? Are you like putting, well, I'm going to show you something here. You see, this is a great card. It's one of the best cards, but it's in your challenge area. So you kind of have to look at it a different way. Now, look at them. It's almost like it's very theatrical. It's almost like they're putting on a show. So you got to ask yourself, am I putting on a show for others? Am I truly happy in this situation, in this relationship, in this job? Like, we've got to do something. You've got that new moon solar eclipse. It's like blast off. Yeah, it's a rocket. All right. I do see the latency now. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes. You don't have to watch me. Okay, Aries? 6 of Pentacles in your crown. Amazing, because look, you got the Knight of Cups as well and the root of your spread. You're good. You're going to be great. Let's just work on this. Page of Swords in your future. So it's all about the actions you take. It's all about how you handle situations. 6 of Pentacles, all about gratitude, all about giving. I mean, this is service to others, okay? If you need support, put that energy out there. Don't be afraid to. Remember, it's all about things coming to the surface. Yeah. It's all about shifting from the physical mind, the ego, to the higher mind. Yeah. And so I really love this because it does seem like a lot of y'all want it this week. You're going to want to contribute in some way. And a lot of you are going to be, if you're seeking support, I'm just putting that energy out there. You have to connect with others, right? That's how you receive. And you have the Knight of Cups and the root of your spread. So a lot of y'all are definitely seeking that. All right. Deep down inside, you want this partnership to work, or you want a new partnership to come in, this knight in shining armor, or you want this. And again, it can be love. It can be creative projects, however you want it. You just want to be emotionally fulfilled. Let's say emotionally fulfilled. Okay. Because you do have the only other Cups card here in your challenge area. And Cups are emotions and feelings and love and self-love. Now,
Page of Swords in your future. There's your breakthrough. There's your, yeah, I can see clearly now. I see things in a new way. That's all there's to it. And so it's in your future, and it just feels like there's something new waiting for you. All right. So it's this test that you have to pass. Once you pass it, you see things in a new way. It's that Uranus, Pluto, trine. It's the air trine, all of that. All about the mind. The sword's the mental suit, right? Up here. Okay. So see, there's something freeing here for you. And very enthusiastic. Like the Page of Swords is like a sponge or something here that you're really excited to pursue in this new way. All right. Could be a contract coming through as well, by the way. Let's get to your stuff. Or some sort of agreement, or you just being in this new place. Yeah. New, even like a new job that's a new way of thinking and seeing things in a new atmosphere. Anyway, Aries, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. And, oh yeah, let's, we're, you know, all right. So, yeah, there's going to be a week. You're going to have to make there's going to have to be some moments that you have here. Okay. And a lot of it might have to do with the way that you approach things and handle things. Okay. So remember, I said, earlier this week, or, you know, with the aspects happening this week, there's a lot of like making up energy, like forgive and forget. All right. But if there's a certain way that you're, you know, pursuing situations that could be a little bit aggressive, it could be a little like backhanded too. It could be something that comes back. We talked about karma, right? With that Three of Swords. Now, you do have temperance, really great. It's just telling you like, you're fine. You're good. You have to believe it. If you don't believe it, that's going to happen. This is going to happen. What needs to be fixed? Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask for support when you need support. Okay. I know you're Aries. You can do things on your own. You got this. Okay. You take the rest of the zodiac forward. But temperance is saying you have an archangel here saying there's no rush. There's no train that's left the station. There's no need to worry about your future. You're taken care of as long as you create your own reality and take karmic actions. You'll be fine. But sometimes you don't have to do anything at all. That is something to take away from here. You know, temperance was also like known as like the alchemist. So it's also, again, try new things, see new things in different ways. In order to do that, you got to go within. You have the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands here, okay, in your external factors area. It does feel like there is someone that's really, it's almost like there is someone that's maybe putting you in a situation where it feels like peer pressure. It could feel like there may be something where you feel that they're moving too fast, but you don't want to show them that you can't keep up. It could be in work. It could be in career. It can be in love and relationships as well. So just be mindful of that. All right. There is also, for a lot of y'all with this, it really is like, yeah, I'm in this new situation, new circumstance, because I passed this test, I let that go. I've got all this, I made all this room for this brand new journey. And it's exciting. And it's very, you know, all about my passions, things that I'm ambitious about. A lot of career energy, even with that Ace of Pentacles popping up. Yeah, a lot of y'all want that. You're going to have big focus on finances and money. Well, you know, especially when Mars moves into Scorpio, you're going to see a lot of that. And then even doubly so when we get to November, when Uranus moves back into Taurus in your second house of money. So a lot of things are moving in that direction anyway. So that could be a little bit of this too. Just, you're going to be fine. That's what this archangel is telling you. Okay, it's Archangel Michael, by the way. So Ace of Pentacles, just continue to manifest and be open. Yeah? Be open to receiving, be open to giving. Just know that balance, okay? You've got, temperance with the water between the two cups. There's a rhythm to that. There's just like, it's not like it's not like, it's like, there's a rhythm, okay? There's a flow. I always say water flows. All right? All about that patience, moderation, things like that. Not over. Virgo energy can be, again, overdoing things. It can be like even being hypercritical on yourself, and that could make you move in other paths. Just be mindful. You're going to be fine. You do have that Three of Swords in your final outcome. So there may be, like I said, some things this week you might have to experience a hard way to get to the new moon solar eclipse. All right. There can be a difficult conversation. There could be someone that you may have to confront. There may be something that has to do with even you personally. Okay. Where it's like, okay, if I'm still doing something that's not in my best interest, that's holding me back, it's going to come out in ways that am I being my authentic self? But if you take control of the situation, you're still going to have there's going to be maybe something here that you're going to experience emotionally. But again, a lot of it has to do with what's going on up here. Okay. It's even, look, we call it the heartbreak card. It's still a sword suit. It's still up here. Okay. The Five of Swords and the heart of your spread as well, which is, fives are challenge cards. So there may be a lesson that you have to learn, and it may not be easy, and it could be really emotional this week. But again, you're on a spiritual journey, and there's something new waiting for you on the other side. And you clearly see that. I'll even clarify that Three of Swords for you. Okay, Aries. And then we'll see. Yeah, you got the Four of Pentacles. It does look like there is something here where it does have to do with there may be a shakeup in the foundations of your life. Remember, you do have Jupiter in Cancer all year long. You have so much focus on home, family, the foundations of your life, significant other, things like that, right? So with that Four of Pentacles, it does seem like there may be something that changes your everyday activities, and it's now you finding firm footing, okay? Solidifying that foundation, all right? And you may have a little bit of deja vu from the first 6 months of 2025 with Saturn retrograde back into Pisces, okay? A lot of career energy, work energy, but also home and family, finances, something here. You see all these pentacles up here now? And so let this out. You have these cups that really connect emotionally, all right, Aries? And then you're going to see how everything changes. So Aries, you're going to, you want me to do one more? I'll do that Five of Swords for you. Okay. Yeah. Ten of Swords. You're going to have, there's something here that you might have to experience. It might be the hard way, but it's this big relief. Okay. Once it's done, it's done. There can be something here where it's also, you are on the receiving end of maybe, there may be some news that you receive where it's like, oh, my company is no longer offering free chips in the office. Whatever it is, at least it's over. This is a card of New Dawn. It's a 101, right? So what comes after this? The Page of Swords. So this is saying at least it's over. Went through the hard way. This is a big cycle that you've went through, and you're moving into a brand new one here. All right. And there's a lot of energy with that, but focus on the foundations of your life and bring in a lot of that heart chakra energy. Really connect. Okay. Especially with that 10 of Cups in your challenge area, but you have that Knight of Cups. It's kind of it's almost like he's got to go through a little, there's some boulders in the way. All right. And a lot of the boulders are here. Okay. With all these swords. Anyway, I'll give you Chris Farley. Okay. And then, there you go. Aries, y'all are amazing. Next week, we will talk. Next week is big. Obviously, we're going to talk about the eclipse. We're going to talk about the equinox. We're going to talk about Mars moving into Scorpio. We're going to talk about Libra season, all of that. So much to talk about. And then the second spread for tier 3 members. Yeah, we are going to talk about the moon conjuncting Jupiter. All of these, everything. There's so much happening. Okay, Mars and Libra opposite Chiron. In your sign, Eris, in your sign, all of this. Even I'll talk about Ceres, but anyway, tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. And if you like this reading, it would be great if you'd like to subscribe, leave comments, let me know. Aries, what's going on? What's going on? All right. And we'll talk more about next week. And again, this new moon solar eclipse in Virgo is going to be really big. And it is in your 6th house. So there is a huge change in your day-to-day. All right. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.